one of the last tricked out
Good evening, councillors, members of the public and members of the press. I hope we all had a good Christmas and New Year, and I do apologise for not wishing you a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year at the last meeting. I do apologise for that.
Well, it was December, so you couldn't.
Well, I thought, yeah, the last meeting.
I'll find out for excuse me, sorry.
Right, item 87, acceptance or otherwise of apologies.
So we have apologies from Councillor Watson and from Councillor Cook, both of whom are ill.
Right. Are we accepting?
Yeah.
Item 88, declarations of interest. If anybody's got any item that I want to declare an interest in, either say, tell the members now or leave it till when the item comes up.
I have an interest, Chair, item 96, Chairman's Medal. That's I will most likely be on the panel which chooses the one for Barnard Castle for Teesdale area, so I must declare an interest.
Thank you. Right, item 89, council meeting 2nd of December 2013, the minutes.
Second.
All in favour? Carried. Right, item 90, end block items.
Move.
Can I speak, please?
Yes, certainly.
Just on 93, I can't find the page, planning committee meeting from 16th of December. I just wanted to make a comment really that with the application for the little livery at Westwick Road, I was actually wanting to question Councillor Watson when he was here, because I understood, I'm led to believe that in the meeting he didn't make any objections to this, which is a very out of character on him. And I wondered if there was any declaration of interest he ought to have made in that. Also, just generally to the whole planning committee, I find it a little bit, I've been questioned by a few members of the public on this application with regards to its nature, green belt land, if you like, around the town, and the sprawl of the town out in not particularly into areas that aren't particularly earmarked for development, and also the type of development gives way to people being able to buy fields and then build houses on them with very tenuous reasoning behind it, which I'm not sure why the planning committee decided to give that approval, and buying a field which is comprised of and then building a house on it, I don't really see as a benefit to the town, and I think that the comments ought to have been made by the planning committee. Just wanted to offer them thoughts on it.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't chairing the meeting, I was at the mayoral function that night, and I think Councillor Bliss was the man in the chair, so...
I was in the chair. The fact that there's stables already on that land anyway, and the reasons given for putting the building that they want, the actual bungalow, whatever it is, they were put in there, is actually to safeguard the actual property, the stables and whatever. They want to expand on the stables, and it's basically to safeguard it. To be honest, you know, there's going to be housing built the other side of the road anyway, for the county school, so we're going to, on the scan.
In the Board Museum?
No,
Further on,
further up the road. So
That's a green lane.
Yeah.
That's a different, that's already, and that's an amber designated, recognised development area, whereas this is...
This one we've looked at in the favour of actually, it's actually the manager's house that's going to be.
Yeah. Like I've noted, I just found the report to be quite rather tenuous in its reasoning. I would welcome, of course, a return of the bonfire to the domains, which was cited in the rationale behind putting this house on this land. So with that in mind, I'd be quite excited to see the return of the bonfire to the domains.
Councillor Robinson, would you be interested if we sought to hear this at the next meeting, if certain councillors attending? Would you like that question to be brought up
In order for Councillor Watson to
Yes.
answer my... what, in the next planning meeting?
No, at the next full council meeting. If we can do that, would you?
Is that something... is that necessary?
Or even the next planning meeting.
In the next,
Got
yes,
next
the next
planning meeting
Monday.
next Monday.
Next Monday, and it'll be more, I think you'll be here, won't you?
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll be hearing it. Stuart.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. It's moved, it's got Stuart Dennis.
Oh, that's right.
Is
Yeah.
it Wednesday?
Yeah, it's moved to
27th.
Next Monday is a planning meeting, but it's a special planning meeting for Stuart Tennis's attendance.
Ah.
So that is the next
Oh,
meeting.
okay, Monday, yeah.
But we've only got one thing in at the moment. So why can't we do it at the end of the meeting? After Mr. Tillis leaves?
I think that may be the case.
Yeah.
I was simply just making observation that, in my experience, Councillor Watson usually has a lot to say on issues such as this, but he had very little to say on this one, and I wonder whether that's conspicuous in his absence.
I can say that I objected in the fact that I said it should have a stipulation of agricultural use for whoever's in that property, same as farmer can build on a green field site if it's for anybody who was working in farming or forestry. And I think that that bungalow should have that stipulation in, so it can't be then sold on. Only people who have worked in that industry or are in the industry could live in it. Whether or not Durham are going to take any notice of that,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I just, in my experience, farms usually turn a part of their land to livery rather than a field suddenly becoming a farm.
Yeah, I just sort of question whether a living can be made out of the number of livery stables on that field.
It's not
Just
viable,
like
it's
a house.
the size of it isn't
The size
viable.
of the livery, unless the livery is going to expand
I think
4 or
that's
5
the,
fold.
I think that's the plan. I don't know how big they're going to make it.
Where there's no land.
Only 2 fields, so
I just wanted to make that comment.
Your comments have been noted, and if you want a question at the planning meeting next week,
Yeah.
you can ask a question.
Is that possible?
Yes,
The minutes will be presented to the meeting.
Yeah.
So.
I'll let you speak on it.
Thank you.
Okay.
No other than that.
All in favour? Thank you. Item 91, update and referrals from committees.
Thank you, Chair. The updates relate to issues under the Partnership Committee. They're detailed there as 1A, B and C relating to the Christmas fireworks event, which was held on the 13th of December, the 12 Days Trail, which was in the period leading up to Christmas, and the Christmas lighting display. And there's an update there for members to note.
Do we have an estimate of how many people attended the fireworks event?
The estimate on the night was approaching 1,000. We didn't take exact numbers, but compared with numbers observed on start-up in the past, it was close to that.
Do we know how much that event cost now that it's all sort of gone through and all the checks and receipts through?
We do have final figures. The overall budget for the fireworks and for the Christmas trail has. I'm just trying to recall the full total, but it didn't use up the full allocation in the budget. There will be a full report to the Partnership Committee at the beginning of next month. I'm just very wary of saying a figure and it being the wrong figure, but the fireworks themselves were £2,000. The stewarding costs were £144. There are other costs related to the trail, and those will be reported to the Partnership Committee.
Any more questions on the recommendation that the information be noted? Right, now come to the big one. Item 92, precept and budget for 2014-15.
Thank you, Chair. As members will be aware, the budget building process has been through the last two cycles of full council meetings and has been prepared principally under the Resources Committee, but the service committees have looked at it as well. It was examined in detail last Monday at Resources, and the Resources Committee's recommendations appear in section 7. Just to briefly run through how those are constructed, the Resources Committee took a strategic view of examining all of the items that have been recommended by committees, both in terms of growth in existing budgets and new budgetary items, and took that as its starting point, but did examine budget headings looking for potential savings, but in the end concluded to recommend the budget as it had been constructed up to that point. Fees and charges were considered by full council at the beginning of December. The reserves position is noted in section 5. It's worth noting, perhaps, that subject to information I shall report later on in the clerk's update, there may be a call on the current reserve dealing with asset transfers, and if any of that money were called upon, it would clearly reduce the amount that currently we predict will be available at the year end. And currently, the plan and the recommendation from Resources is to transfer a figure of 11,292 into the general reserve at the year end, based on underspends in revenue budget and reallocation of earmarked reserves. And that position is then exemplified again within section 5. The detail of the budget appears in summary in Appendix A, and the background papers are set out, or the background figures are set out in Appendix B. I would suggest, Chair, that if members wish to raise any specific issues, it may be appropriate to do that against the individual budget headings, and those could be considered as potential amendments to the overall recommendations from the Resources Committee, which appear in section 7.
I propose that £7,500 from item number 49, which is the creation of neighbourhood plan, and also £300 from item 51, which is the change of office extended, should be taken from the £10,000 which is mentioned in 5.5, which is supposed to be going in the general reserves. Working the budget in this way would allow us to maintain the desired level of service, whilst allowing us to significantly reduce the proposed increase for our precept. At the same time, it would mean that this council was not taking £7,800 out of the local economy, where it would end up just sitting in a bank account if it was to go in general reserves, doing very little for the foreseeable future. And I'd just like to mention that the Local Government and Community Secretary, Eric Pickles, I'll quote him, "There are no rules that specify minimum or maximum levels of reserves. While it is sensible for local authorities to maintain a healthy cushion, such substantial reserves are completely unnecessary. Council should be making creative use of reserves to address short-term costs." Obviously, these two items are one-off items and as such are short-term costs.
Have we got a second for Councillor Dean's proposal? Are we any amendments to the proposal? Or comments?
Bearing in mind that we've got to hopefully one day reach the limit of 70,000 as reserves anyway, as it's laid down. And also knowing now that the fact that we haven't got a time limit on that, which can be done over a number of years. You know, I honestly see this as a sensible move.
Right. Do we speak to
Just as far as the reserves are concerned, the reserves account is currently healthy. The recommendation is that council has the ability to cover at least 3 months' expenditure, and at its current level we've not performed, so we do meet the current recommendations.
So we've had a proposal and second for Councillor Deacon's proposal. Are we all in favour, or can we have a vote on it, please? Those in favour? That's carried. It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure everybody.
On item 6, which is the County Durham Association. I was going to bring this up a bit later. Where our money there, we at the moment pay £696 to keep the Secretariat going to run this. That will increase next year by between 60 and 70%. And when we don't know yet whether the government, in their wisdom, how they're going to put a block on parish and town councils to capping them. One of the things what's been said is that if you've got your D-band is over, is it £70 now?
The figure of £70 was mentioned. The most recent information from CDALC suggests £150.
Yeah. But that's not definite yet. So there is a possibility, one way or the other, we could be capped next year. And that would be at 2%. Maybe. And I'm just thinking about whether or not whether the reserves would cover this increase for CDALC.
What would the cap be, 2%?
No, well, what the CDALC one is important. I don't know how many of you know Steve Wright. And the information that Steve Wright gives out, I mean, is used to every clerk and every councillor. The thing is that as from, not next year, the year after, he is going to be stopped being paid by County Durham. At the moment, we pay 2/3 of his wages. That 2/3 of the wages will come to us, the members, to have to make up his wages. And that's why the increase will be between 60 and 70%. At the moment, we don't know whether every council will agree. And what we do need is we need to know if the larger councils in County Durham are willing to pay, because some of those at the moment pay maybe £4,000 to £5,000. Now, if you increase theirs by 60 or 70%, they may pull out. But it's a possibility that that could rise up to over £1,000 or more. I just thought it was worth mentioning that whether or not the discussions and a decision is going to be made in October by the AGM this year. It has to be made. And I think that the executive are hoping that they'll get a message from council saying yes, they are willing to pay. So it's something that we'll have to discuss, but I'm just a bit worried that there might not be enough money around.
I do understand that. My concern is that we shouldn't be raising the council tax precept on ifs and maybes. We can only do it on facts and figures and what we do not at the time. And I think it would be unfair to burden the taxpayer. I mean, we're stuck in a situation that's a very difficult situation.
We're going to have to leave that till October then, aren't we?
Well, a decision will have to be made by this council before October, because that's when they want it, for them to say, yes, we will pay that extra money to Stephen. The other one, the capping, just have to wait and see. The government in their wisdom will keep changing the goalposts. One minute it's 200, if you've got a 200,000 preset, then you will get capped. Now it's changing, it changes every day, just about. But the important one is the Secretariat of CBEL, and whether we're supporting.
Councillor Bissett.
Yeah, there's also the factor that we don't know as and when the county will move the goalposts, which they have done in the past. Some of us that were on the council at the time, remember when we used to use Tito House, we had to have a budget in by the 27th of January of that year, and on that day we also received notice that because we had the premises free at Tito House, they issued us with a notice that we out as of then. We had not notified of any idea of it. We had to find money to actually pay for our roles after that. You know, you just don't know what's happening with the council. The county council, they don't have a fixed date on doing things. You know, that's just something to be aware of in the future. That if they come up with something, assets, you know, we're going to be looking at one later. You know, luckily we've got that in time. But it could have come up after the budget's gone in, and we haven't got a clue on where we're going to get the funds from. It's a difficult situation.
So that amendment now stands as an amendment to the recommendation. I've made a note of those figures, and I will summarise those, or indeed any others if there are more forthcoming.
Councillor Pete.
Yeah, just to make another proposal regarding trying to save money, because as other councillors, I don't like the idea of increasing the precept at all. And this is particular item is regarding the public seats, which I was all for previously, having another £1,000 towards for the ongoing scheme of getting the seats in the town for revamped, refurbished. But when you consider that in Flatwoods there's now a scheme going on where there'll be 15 new benches or refurbished benches going in there within the next few months. During the summer there'll hopefully be 3 brand new all-metal seats on the bandstand, and there's also very strong possibility that there'll be another 4 benches in the scheme whereby we get them refurbished within the town. There's one lady being on the phone to me this afternoon regarding putting a bench down by the weir, which will be a new scheme there, and we'll use one of the existing benches that was actually on the road down to Orchard Bray. So we'll be reusing that, and we'll get newer Rocco wood sandblasted there. And there's also, within the last week, somebody wants a plaque on a bench in Galgate, so that will mean we've got another £300 there, definitely. So I think we're going to get, hopefully, there'll be 4 benches, £300 each, so that's another £1,200 into the kitty, which more than covers what we're asking for. And to me, so that adds up to the possibility within the year of another 26 benches that will be refurbished, and I think that's quite a good target for within a year. And the total, with over 2 years, of all the new benches, refurbished benches, will come to 67 benches within a 2-year period. So I propose that there's no need for the £1,000 public seat.
Will the second for Councillor Pete?
I was trying to speak. Was this category not also including public signs and wayfinding units? I don't mean the wayfinding units, but signage sort of, and in the Flatwood scheme, new signs that would guide people around. And if not, then what is... I thought we changed this heading and to include other things. So I don't want us to be you know, forgetting about them other things that we previously agreed to look at. But you'll probably not have the answers to that.
How it goes, it's written down here.
Am I not very
Yes,
clear?
Councillor Page.
Yeah. Consequently, if the £1,000 public seat earmark, £550 has been spent towards revamping the benches, and £450 has been contributed to the Heart of Teesdale Landscape Partnerships, Flatswoods and Teesbank's restoration project to renew the interpretation signs. So there's £450
Yeah.
from this
But that's now, but that work will now be completed with it.
Yeah, that
Because
is
these things will
ongoing.
need maintaining, and there might be other signs that need maintaining.
Yeah, but we
All
don't,
I'm asking is that done, and is that,
the 450 will go towards restoring all the
otherwise when it's
signs.
position, everything falls a bit together.
And we've also got, there'll be at least 1,200, possibly more, because I've got another idea, of money coming forward.
I'll leave it in your safe hands, Councillor Dean, just second that.
So I have a proposal in a second for Councillor Bates.
Yeah.
All in favour? Carried. Councillor
I'd just like to pass comment on item 36, the Red Well, £300. It's my understanding that that doesn't actually belong to that Castle Town Council, and it's not in our parish. So should we be paying that £300, or should that be passed on to the relevant parish?
Mallow.
Marwood, yeah.
Yeah.
How can we build that?
I understood, and I don't know anything about it, I understood that when John Watson stood up one day, he was saying that they've signed something, or... Can you tell me anything about that?
We are still in the midst of an investigation to discover exactly what the situation is with the Red Well. We've now received information from the land registry that indicates that the land is not currently registered to anybody. However, the Town Council has for a period of years maintained the Red Well and would therefore be the prime candidate to be able to claim ownership should ownership be contested through adverse possession. The issue would be, based on the long-standing decision of the Town Council to maintain the Red Well, is that a position the Town Council wishes to retain or not? I would suggest that's a decision best not taken as a budgetary decision. I think it needs to be looked at sensibly by an appropriate service committee.
I just passed comment.
Sure, we've got a slide. Yeah, no. I've got problems.
We wouldn't want to be accused of being Nazis now.
Can I declare an interest in that? Because I didn't know it was going to come up, so...
But I'm there. Just recently, I did something about council stuff, and about others coaching on their parish. Maybe that answer as well. Sounds all good to me. I'm just...
On a similar vein, I understand that we've also got some allotments which are in Marwood, and I believe there may be some rather large expense coming on, as they are in Marwood's parish. Should there be some sort of share?
Isn't the beck the border?
No.
I always thought it was.
Be very careful that Malwood don't charge you rent for the last few years.
I would also say it's the beck. I know it is down through the woods. One side's Barnard, the other side's Marwood. And there's a beck coming down through the golf course.
It's the Red Well Inn. It's the back fence of the Red Well Inn. It's the border.
Yeah, yeah. I always thought the beck so corrected.
It is certainly the case that high road allotments are outside the boundary of the parish. However, it's not unprecedented for parish council or a town council to administer allotments beyond its own boundary. Like many other things, there's a notion of 3 mile limit.
Isn't there with permission? Shouldn't you have said with permission?
That would say
I think-
permission with the signs for bar.
It is with permission,
Yeah.
Marwood have no other allotments and have never administered or raised money to manage allotments. And my understanding is, although I wasn't present at the time, that it was indeed with permission at the time when the responsibility transferred from the Urban District Council.
Urban district.
I believe so, 1974, I think. The allotments would transfer initially to Teesdale, but Teesdale, where there was a parish, didn't actually have diaries to operate allotments. And eventually the situation was rectified as far as the town council was concerned, and therefore that permission to operate those allotments was resolved at that time, as I understand it. I can certainly find the information for members if they so wish.
Any more comments?
I'm saying no, I'm a councillor now, but am I?
Okay. And move the budget then.
Do I have a second for that?
Could I just ask, have we got any quick figures on what that brings our, if we've just saved £8,500?
The budget would reduce to £188,019. Therefore, the budget would increase by 8.04%. The precept, however, would only increase from 147,791 to 150,773, which is an increase of 2.02%, or £1.96 for the precept on a bandy equivalent, home or 4 pence a week.
Councillor
Yeah,
Deacon.
No, sorry,
Sorry, Councillor Robinson then.
Could I just ask that the Northern Echo print a full retraction of last week's editorial, which suggested, but didn't suggest, which said that this council was raising its precept by 8%.
I obviously wasn't here last week. So
I'm not blaming you, but I still had a retraction.
Obviously, I've been sat here making a note of what's going on. I've written down what Michael's put down there, and I will make it clear that the thing that was mentioned last week was a proposal to the full council, which is you correct in saying it should have been made clear that it was a proposal to the full council last week, obviously.
And not a natural decision.
Yeah, I will make that clear.
Thank you.
No, shut up and get on.
It's just one point I was going to bring up later on this, and it's regarding wardens, which I wasn't at the last meeting when it was brought up and the price was 38,000, I think was floated around, something like that. I was at a meeting representing the Barnard Town Council, the Local Council's Forum, when Staindrop brought it up that they were thinking of looking into getting a warden for a few hours a week. And then I understand that Gainford are looking at the possibility of getting a warden. And Everley are interested in a warden, but only for a few hours a week. And I just wonder if it's possible. I know it's mentioned in the precept, whether or not a working group should be started to work with and then come up with a final figure and see if it is possible for us to employ in Teesdale area a warden for litter and dog fouling of our own. But it would have to be worked out on an hourly rate, if anything, whether once we do it, who would be running it, and they would have to agree to it for so many years. But I do know that there's a possibility that could happen, because we only, but he would only be able to work during the day, not early mornings or late at night, because he has to be trained, as you know, by Durham, and Durham don't like wardens going out late at night on their own, usually like 2. That's why if you ever call them out for an early morning look round, you will see 2 of them around. But I just thought I'd let you know, because it's mentioned in the precept, but I just think a working group should be started to look into the possibility of maybe working with other councils which means that we could then employ one and it wouldn't be such a bind on Barnard Castle's money.
The budget for dog fouling, as recommended, is £500. It is part of the ongoing remit of the Services Committee to review that, and certainly some of the information coming back from the county in response to the earlier request for information on the cost of employing a dog warden might lead the committee to be able to review the position, because one of the suggestions that appeared in the press but not directly to us, but we are following it up, was that the town council could take on responsibilities of employing its own warden or empower its own wardens to issue fines. And that might be the situation that would be a sensible one to take with other parishes, and certainly that would be something that we're working to try and get information back to the Services Committee to review as part of its ongoing maintenance of the dog fouling issue.
Okay, thank you. Anybody, did you propose that we accept the
budget, yeah.
Closing seconded? Do you want to say something, Councillor Deacon?
Just before, just like to comment, that's not, we sort of kept free subject now 2%, which I think is remarkably good for the council, and I think considering the 8%. But I also came across a council that was putting their precept up by over 1,000%. So I think we should be congratulated for the work that we've done.
Thank you for that, Councillor. So we're going to propose a second for accepting the precept budget. All those in favour? Carried unanimous. Right, we'll now go on to item 93. Clerk's update.
Thank you, Chair. The usual update report is attached. I've also circulated for members' information some additional information that I received today from Deborah Jobling, who is one of the asset management team at County Hall, and that is in relation to the item identified there, 3.2, Scartop play area and mini golf freehold. The proposal from the County Council is that for a transfer fee of £650 plus the payment of legal fees totalling £700, the county is prepared to transfer that asset, being the playground and indeed the freehold of the mini golf, to the Town Council, and in doing so would continue to litter pick and to clear that space, which, taken in the medium term, is a reasonable value to the Town Council. I don't have a figure, they haven't told us what it costs them to litter pick on that basis, but knowing their figures, it won't be inconsiderable. So that proposal is now available. I wanted to circulate that really as soon as possible. It would be helpful if members were minded to move forwards on that. What I would need would be the agreement of the council to proceed into negotiation with the county to get them to produce documents that were worthy of signing. They would, of course, be signed formally by two members on behalf of the Town Council in the normal way. But if that looked like an attractive proposition, I think that would be one that was worth taking forward. It's interesting to note that the principle that is applied, which is that the organisation to which the asset is transferred picks up the cost of the transfer, but the cost of the service is funded, and that's in line with the county's agreement with local councils in County Durham that finance follows function. And certainly in considering some of the other things that are on the list of assets we're talking to the county about, that might be a useful principle to cement as soon as we possibly could.
Councillor Deacon. Well, we've got a second for the proposal. All those in favour?
Thank you. And the other items on the on the list there are really for noting, with regard to the Wednesday market, there's nothing to report just yet, but I'm given to understand there will be something to report very soon, and as soon as we receive information from the county, which will cover, they need to make an announcement about the exercise they conducted across the whole of the county, and the 14 markets in total. I understand they're at the point where they're about ready to announce that, and as to what happens next to all of those markets, irrespective of what the outcome of that particular exercise was. So as soon as that information is available, I will share it with members, and the town council at that point needs to decide what its response might be, depending on what the council is proposing. Is there any more? That's all, unless any questions, Jim.
Councillor Reid.
Yeah, just one regarding the play area. The new play, I was concerned about the drainage within the new play area. In the grassed areas, the water just isn't getting away, and it's sort of turned into a quagmire on those areas. And the leaves weren't removed from the grass areas either, which has meant that all the grass is dying off. You can see the contrast between the play area that's Durham County Council has been looking after and the mini golf that the town council has been looking after, where the leaves have been removed and the grass is there ready to grow again. And similarly, concern about the leaves that are on the grassed area by wood leaf. But all that, there's a lot of reseeding being done there. I'm concerned that the grass on there is going to be, well, it will have been killed off, so it's going to have to start from scratch again in the spring.
Is there any way we can get hold of Durham County Council to remove these leaves? If it's their responsibility.
We can certainly raise it with the Green and Clean team through the zoning chamber.
To reseed it, because, you know, it won't do any good this year. Councillor Mrs. Grady.
It's actually dangerous when you go when you walk on the Scotch. Very dangerous.
Yeah. We walked along on last Tuesday and
Yeah.
noticed that
You can't walk
clearly
down
it's an
those
absolute
areas.
mess.
Yeah, it was awful.
Right, thank you for that. So, which is that item? Item 94. Representation on other bodies. 1. Barnard Business Guild meeting 11th of December and 8th of 2013, 8th of January 2014. Do you want to comment on it?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that these last couple of meetings, the interest that's been stimulated by Tony Wood has meant that the numbers of people attending these meetings have been greatly increased. Because at one point it was getting to the stage where there was just about half a dozen people sat around the table and it was just a general conversation piece. And you didn't feel as if any ideas were being stimulated. But mine doesn't necessarily always agree with Tony Wood, but he is stimulated. I think that there's been confusion over whether he's saying this is what should be done rather than putting forward ideas some of the time. But he has generated a lot more people turning up to meetings, and it did in some ways get out of hand at the last meeting. I think at least people are turning up, and that's basically all I like to say, unless anybody would like asking more questions.
Anybody got any questions for Councillor Reid? Councillor Deacon?
What was decided, how did the discussion go on parking?
And parking in particular. At the last meeting.
Were there proposals that they were putting forward that this council could support?
I think that is partly the problem with the Guild, that there's been a lot of talking and that there isn't a decision being made particularly, and it needs to forward. At the minute there's just a lot of ideas going forward, but there hasn't been enough structure, particularly at the last meeting, to actually get a vote to make a decision. particularly on parking. I think you were there, so.
Yeah, Mr. Wood is resigned now, so.
Yes, we know.
So, it's not going to move on,
I wonder why. Nothing to do with this council.
There's all those qualities that go with it.
Yes.
As far as the parking is concerned, there was discussion about trying to extend the 2-hour parking to 3 hours, which I think would be a very good suggestion, and also trying to encourage some sort of free parking in the car park, which again is something that I think that we should be supporting. The other ideas about charging on Gallagher, I would oppose that.
Could I ask, Councillor Peake, is it the Guild's remit to be representing Barnard Castle in that fashion? I suppose it's a question for the wider council as well. Is it not our job to address these issues for the people and the businesses of Barnard Castle? Because I understand the Guild, when it was first created, was more of a support network for businesses in themselves, rather than being a lobby group, which it has become. And with Mr. Wood's departure, will it return to that, do you feel, or is it going to continue in the vein it has? Because I see the value in this council doing some of that work, probably with better effect.
Thank you for those comments. Thank you for those comments, Councillor Robinson. And then we,
the questions in the comments.
Councillor Peake.
Yeah, I feel it is more of a forum for, it should be more of a forum for discussion and to stimulate ideas, but I do believe it's more of the town council's job to take forward the full view of the town.
Yeah.
Rather than the Guild, it's just a relatively small body compared with the town council. But I think it's very important that the town council should communicate with the Guild.
I would just like to say that organisation like the Guild shouldn't go on the meetings supposedly representing the whole people of Barnard Castle.
Well, in that case, can a committee, which committee would potentially look at this as an issue? Partnership?
Properly, it will be the planning committee, which has transport issues as part of its remit, as things stand. It might be helpful, Chair, if I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, I think it's a meeting to which Tony Woods referred, there was a meeting convened by Craig Morgan of the TAP, which I attended in order to on what was discussed. Inspector Tuck was there as well, together with one of the parking managers from Durham County, and there were a number of suggestions taken forward at that meeting, most of which were necessarily in the remit of Durham County as the parking authority, and they did undertake via TAP to come back at some future date and to bring some information together. I think I was volunteered at the meeting to coordinate information flows from that, and clearly one of the things that the Town Council would need to do would be to review that information when it comes in and to consider it. And it could certainly be taken forward through the Planning Committee, but it could also be taken forward through full council, which always can take any issue if it so wishes. If members felt actually it's the kind of issue that's better resolved in the round table, as it were, rather than within the context of planning. But there's no reason at all why, once we have some data from the county, and that's data on things like the occupancy levels of existing car parks and the revenue and the costs, and something more of detail about enforcement, that should not be looked at.
Can I say that I had my other hat on and I was at that meeting, and it was me who volunteered, the clerk.
I like that.
Yeah, it was an interesting meeting, and I was amazed at what the some of the things that Mr Wood came up with. And I'll leave it at that, although it seemed to me that those were decisions that had been made, the way he said it, and the Guild had agreed to this, that and the other. That's what I took away from that meeting, that feeling. But I do think that, yes, if I can just tell you about this parking, what had happened is just before Christmas, at a meeting of the Air Action Partnership, one of the members of the public representatives brought it up about parking, and we said, oh, we'll have a look into it as Air Action Partnership. And then we heard that the Guild were looking into it, and we said, well, they might as well come in and if we're going to do something with Durham. And then, of course, we invited the council or the clerk to come and sit there and see what was going on. And that is basically how it started. It only came up because of basically the way that the wardens at that time were being very, I don't know what to call it, very keen.
Yeah.
I understand now that they
They
have,
have their SS uniforms on.
yeah, though they are now a bit quieter. So, but that is the reason that it was started. But I do believe that it's worth sticking with it, because I think that Barnard Castle, as a town council, should have more say in that than they have at the moment. And this will be maybe a way of getting in. Because don't forget, my little point one upset with Durham is that we've got this new authority, don't forget, or what they don't want to call it an authority, but the Act says it is an authority, which is going to be looking at transport and transport problems, which means it will, things like that will be going through Northumberland and Newcastle and that. And so I do think that Barnard Castle we ought to be more involved, and we ought to make ourselves more involved.
Especially as representatives of the people.
Exactly. And what it's us who represent the people in this town. Nobody else. Elected members.
Councillor Robinson.
Yeah, kind of on that vein, my observations, this is turning into a big parking discussion, but my observations are that business want one thing, residential areas are being hit, and I know this because I've had residents stop in the street and complain to me about it as a councillor. So it is coming into our forum whether we like it or not, and because then we have to start acting on it. And residential areas are getting filled up with cars because workers are always coming into town. There are, to my mind, a few obvious solutions that we can do, i.e. have permits for people working in the town where they can park in the home or car park, extend to 3 hours on the cobbles, etc., etc. But we need to formalise this in some fashion, I feel, and be the lobbyist for the people of Barnard Castle to Durham and represent the people and sort this out and represent the whole community, not just a number of shops on High Street.
Any more comments?
No, I've said enough.
Certainly I will update members based on any information that does flow back from the county and residents.
Right. The next one is Teesdale Local Council's Forum meeting, 13th of January.
Well, I've just about given
The
information. The only one I haven't is broadband for the Dales, which is a separate one to the broadband which is going out to County Durham. They've applied, there is through DEFRA, there was some money to come up which could give rural areas more money. And I've been on I have on a committee been looking at this, and I've been dealing with Bill Jackman from Durham at meetings, and we keep asking him to come at TAP and say, and he always said, well, I'll come next. I have nothing to tell you now, so I might as well come next month. I got some information this week which says, it talks about digital Durham, and then it says in addition to this, Councillor Kinch was talking about additional funding for Teesdale and Weardale, which is the Weardale were going to get over 1 million and Teesdale were going to get some less. This was last year when it was first mentioned. This is to be found, if possible, by bidding to Rural Community Broadband Fund, and the final application has to be with DEFRA by the 28th of February 2014. My understanding is that they'd already applied for this and just about got it. But that is confirmed with a document I've got here, which is going to Cabinet next week, where it says exactly the same thing, that Durham are looking into it. The programme is seeking additional funding, they say. Yeah. So that covers, really, it's out up in the Dales where they don't have broadband, yet all the farmers are expected to put all their stuff, they've got to do it online. And what that means is that farmers have to come down there, going to Middleton in Teesdale, just about, go to UTAS, get on their computer and do it there, which isn't very good because they can't all the time. But that, I just thought I'd let you know that there is a small problem with broadband, but the thing is, what is said there is that they have already put cabinets for it in Durham. This is a super fast one, and cabinets are going to be installed next year or so, and they are Cockfield and Staindrop, where will be included in the next areas. I don't think Cockfield has anything to do with the chair. Durham County Council comes from Cockfield, but I don't think it's anything to do with that, so don't quote me. That's it. Thank you.
Councillor.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, just obviously representing Barnard Castle Town Council, but just a general view of the Upper Teesdale, how they've been treated over the broadband is absolutely disgraceful. And there's people there, it would be a lifeline for them. And the fact that they've got to spend so much of their business time going down in the middle when they should be working on the farms, it's about time Teesdale and Weardale got a fair share of broadband, really. Because in 2014, they're no further forward than they were when broadband first came out.
This situation is bad enough, but I know people at Quarrybank who can't get broadband. I mean, it's that bad. The rollout of this scheme in the digital there has been an absolute catastrophe. And what a waste of money. And for people just outside Eccleston not to be able to get broadband is just this day and age. But we're Barnard Castle councillors, so we should probably...
Yes, but I just thought I'd let you know what's happening.
We're Barnard Castle's councillors, but we can support our neighbours.
Absolutely.
And our economy relies upon that.
But it's not only just broadband, it's everything. Teesdale and itself are very much a poor relation. Education, transport,
You wait till the authority comes in then. Oh, I've got to stop now the new authority.
no, we've got to correct all of it.
But it's all, although Durham, I understand, may be the chair of it.
Couple.
Yeah.
That will help us, won't it?
Yes. Well, help Chesley Street.
There's allowance back.
Oh, well, we'll go to the next. Do you want me to leave, Chair, as soon as I have a...
No.
Okay. I should keep stuck.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah. Well, I know that's another...
Just to formally note the previous report, Chair.
Yes, move it.
Yeah.
Move the information.
Right.
Making hands of
Item 95, Royal Garden Party.
Could I propose the current mayor, Councillor Aaron, to the last couple of years, you've done an absolutely brilliant job bringing the town forward. Yes, sir.
Yeah, all in favour.
Thank you, members. It's appreciated. Whether we will or not is a different matter.
You didn't say that you did before, sir?
No, I haven't played before, no.
And you are over 18.
Yes. I think there's only two councillors that have been there for years. What did he?
But it's all a matter of luck in the draw.
Did you
Yeah.
go on the council job, or was it from Kingsdale? When you went up down the park, did you from
I've been there.
Yeah, that's 3
I've
hours.
run the district council and some other two occasions. I've never had a glass of brandy after that.
Right, thank you for that. Item 96, Chairman's Medal.
Thank you, Chair. There's a report here just outlining the process that Durham County are proposing for the award of Chairman's Medal this year, with nominations to go forward through the area election partnerships. The categories are highlighted there. Clearly, members will recall that nominations have been forwarded from the Town Council in the past. I guess the request would be that if any member wishes to nominate an organisation or an individual, if they're content to work with the office, because the forms require the background information that demonstrates why that person is a worthy, as a potential worthy recipient, and it would be useful to have as much detail as possible to help fill the forms in.
Councillor Bissett.
Open listening, Councillor King. I would like to propose the OG again this year for the sterling work they do with the youth, not only in Barnard but of the area. And I will put the three together
Have we a second for
to back that.
all in favour?
Yes.
I also would like to propose the YMCA, because I think they do a wonderful job as well. I know the Hub do an exceptional job, but the small spot like the YMCA, they deserve a lot of credit for keeping the youngsters off the street. Hopefully, keep them on their mother. Thank you. All in favour of that? Has anybody else got any nominations?
Oh,
Right. Still being
there's still time if somebody wishes to
Yeah.
nominate somebody else.
It's also closed the meeting at 7, is it? It is. 7 o'clock, unless anybody's got a chance.
Could I just note, very, very quickly, with the proposed development at Barnard Castle School, I've organised a public meeting for local residents, but obviously as councillors, it would be nice to see as many of you there as possible. It's on Thursday night at Green Lane School at 6 o'clock. If anyone wants to come along, you're more than welcome. And it's just to get a community response to the plans there.
It is in our parish as well.
It isn't, is it? Well, it will be.
Yeah.
Oh, finally, we'll get some good precinct down there.
Probably won't get that, probably won't happen.
You know, there's